Here's the new LEGO Disney Young Simba the Lion King, an interesting new addition to the ever-growing LEGO Disney theme of products aimed at adults, but wait, there's more! LEGO is doing not one, but two Simbas, with the smallest, more poseable and playable one being age-marked for kids, so let's quickly go over this one first, before moving on to the big one. And I had said this when reviewing the LEGO Stitch model a few weeks ago, this style of the box was prone to collectability and different characters placed on this corner here, and just a few months later, here we are. The build is quite simple so that any kid shouldn't have any problem tackling it, and at the end of it all you'll be left with a somewhat playable model with some degree of movement. All four limbs can rotate in just one direction and can't really be opened outwards. The tail rotates and so does the head, that in turn, resting on a ball joint, is a lot more free. The decorations for the eyes and ears are all prints, which is great to avoid misplaced stickers by kids, and looking at it that in the eyes, the overall design feels really good. But I honestly can't say the same when you start looking at it from other angles. The back with those layers of different colored plates is strange, and so is the underside of the jaw. But despite that, do I think kids will have fun playing with this? I think so. The model is quite sturdy and it has a few extras in the form of a small scene with a few bugs and larvae for Simba to eat, and at 220 pieces, the Disney tax, all prints and no stickers for a price of $20 isn't a bad deal at all, making this one of those LEGO boxes perfect for gift giving. Now when you place this next to the 18 Plus model, the differences between the two are astounding, as they should. A bigger model allows for a lot more detail, shaping and interesting building techniques, which we will now focus on, but not without its shortcomings. For a Disney LEGO set, this one isn't terribly overpriced at $130, having little over 1400 pieces and, once again, no stickers. At this scale, brick building the details rather than requiring prints wasn't needed, and in that regard, I think the designer did great here, with the ears being the best example, using 3 different colors and well-chosen pieces when compared to the small model. The almost lifelike looking eyes are amazing on their own, and even though they're small 2x2 LEGO dish elements for prints, the rest of the eye shape was done once again with a well-crafted combination of pieces. And that feels to me like one of the strengths this model has to offer, for people who care about it of course, nice parts usage. The whiskers were done with the lever elements and minifigure rapier pieces, but the best piece use has got to be the tip of the tail, making great use of a recolored bush element in brown. And looking at the tail, it may feel like this can be moved, but that isn't the case at all, as most of it is fixed into position, minus some of the pieces you can work with for a bit. And the same is true for the entire model. It is an 18 Plus LEGO product after all, and meant for display is the only reason why all the legs are fixed into position. The only exception is the head, that you can actually rotate 360 degrees, but in doing so, the design was slightly weakened because of it, and due to the weight of this whole assembly, when handling the model, the head can fall way too easily in my opinion, which about sums up the only real complaint I have to make about it. The pose chosen to display Simba is great, especially considering the fact that there's lots of different parts of the build placed at an angle as opposed to being perfectly straight against the model, and that led to the building experience being very enjoyable to do, which is most of what I care about in LEGO sets these days. The main body section is built first and straight up, but then you start connecting each of the legs to it, making it sit tilted. These bits here inside the back legs using inch plates, while simple, place the Technic brick used for connection to the main body once again at an angle, sorry for saying angle so many times in this section, which makes the overall look feel nicer. The front legs on the other hand are straight at the top, though have some cool LEGO triangle geometry both on the connection points to the main body, but also on the connection points to the lower parts of the legs. And then the head, that while personally speaking isn't as interesting as far as the building techniques go, does have a few inspired moments like the ones I mentioned before, or the lower jaw build that just slides and clicks into place. What I'm saying is, this is a fun LEGO set to build. Not retro radio level, which completely blew me away as far as the building experience went, and you should totally check that review afterwards if you haven't already, but still, a rare instance of a fun time these days, where most LEGO products feel to me a bit repetitive, such is the blessing and the curse of reviewing LEGO sets for a living. The LEGO Simba for adults is a great LEGO product, all things considered. I'm not sure how likely it is that people would choose to display this over something else, but maybe there's there's enough adult Lion King fans out there that think otherwise. Time will tell. The LEGO Simbas are available to pre-order already and will ship June 1st. You can order yours using the links below if you wish to support the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one.